live in 5. Did you put it out to the world at all, Mike?
I have my random Q&A, and I told them we're doing it on the podcast also, so we have
okay.
random shit.
All right, that works.
But it's all just a random
Welcome.
shit.
Welcome to February. End of February, almost March.
Yeah, I saw the date. Like, I see the date when whatever happens. People are doing paperwork, or I see things, and you see the number, but it doesn't, like...
Doesn't register?
Yeah, and then I saw, like, the 24th. I guess the only way it registers is when I look on my phone, and you see the weeks, you know?
Uh-huh.
And you realize that 24 is, like, so close to the end.
Yeah, in February. And there's no leap day this year.
See, I don't even know how that works.
Every fourth year, I think, is the deal.
And then what? There's an extra day, 300 or
yeah, there's
one
an
less
extra day. No, it's an extra day.
So there's 365 and then 366.
Yeah, leap years have an extra day.
Today is the day. This is good. So I get to listen to 5 minutes of the radio on the way to the gym every morning.
Uh-huh.
And it's the same shit segment on the same shit news radio.
Uh-huh.
But they do Today in History.
Okay.
And Today in History, I believe, is when I don't know if they invented or they began to adapt the Gregorian calendar, which is probably what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'd imagine that's Gregorian math.
I'm not sure exactly at what point that they switched it over, because I know that there's a bunch of different...
I think the current one is based on the Gregorian, at least, whether it's the final form or not, and that it was like 1562 or some bullshit of February 24th.
It's not even its final form, probably. My understanding is that actually we're going to, because the Earth is...
Flat?
No.
Oh.
Because the rotation of the Earth is changing speeds, that I think we're going to be able to eliminate part of the correction.
Oh, we're spinning faster than we're supposed to.
Yeah, I think that's the deal.
That's just Hollywood dog shit.
Sam, is that right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, okay. So eventually. It's going to take a while.
So probably not our lifetime.
No, probably not. No.
But one day we're going to spin faster.
No, we're already spinning faster
than we used to spin.
Yeah, this is correct.
So we're just going to explode one day. One day am I going to... You ever went in the rides?
Stop the world, I want to get off. It's like on a carousel that you just will not stop.
Yeah, the space ride where you go inside and there's no seatbelt. I remember going in when I was like 13. There's a meme going out now like, wow, our parents were reckless. But you go in this thing. True. It looks like a UFO.
Yeah.
And yeah, because your parents never been in that ride. They don't know what the fuck it is, right?
No,
but they're sending you. It looks like a UFO. Already janky carnival rides.
Yeah.
Like, those already scare me. They put them up in an hour. I'm judgmental. I'm sorry for those out there that are carnies, but the people that are running them, probably not putting my life in their hands. I'm sure they're nice people. But then the thing just...
I'm sure that not all of them are using meth, so...
Even if they're on meth, they might have good intentions, but it doesn't mean, I'm putting my life in their hands. This thing just starts spinning so fast, and you're just on, like, a stretcher. Have you seen this or been on one? So you're just on a stretcher on the wall.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying.
And you spin so fast it, like, slides you up.
Yeah.
Like gravity. Or
Wall of Death.
I don't even know the name.
I don't even know that that's it, but there's a song about it. So.
My point is, if the Earth spins so fast, considering we're flat, that will also probably just start to float.
I don't know about that.
If we spin fast enough.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's pretty good physics, I think.
Let me see.
It's shaped like a UFO. I don't know the name of it.
Oh, no? Yeah, maybe. Hold on. There's a great Richard and Linda Thompson song called Wall of Death.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is. I can't turn the computer around, but...
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, and you just slide,
it's like
really.
A cage and...
But maybe. No. That thing you're strapped in.
Okay.
The one I'm talking about, you're not strapped in. And
I don't think I ever experienced this.
No, this thing's sketch. And it just starts spinning. You're at probably some kind of angle that's important.
Yeah.
And you're on this, literally, it looks like a stretcher you'd get pulled off of a field with, except it's attached to a wall with a small rail.
It's similar to the stretcher that they'll use to carry you away when they
after the ride,
yeah.
and it spins so fast you get stuck on the wall.
So it's a giant centrifuge.
Yeah, and then you just slowly slide up this thing, and then like the thing is like it's kind of padded, not really padded actually, but kind of padded. So mid ride you could like spin around, you could sit upside down, and you're stuck on the wall.
I've never.
It's
seen
pretty
that.
insane. It's insane that you guys let us on this.
I didn't. I didn't. Did I? my son is running the board for us today. I did not do that. Right?
No, it's called a graviton.
Oh,
you never been on one?
Yeah, they used to have them at the state fair.
Yeah.
Did you ever go on it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't love rides, and I've been on that stupid thing.
Now, what happened with this one when he was probably less than 2 years old? He climbed to the absolute top of the play structure and at the park. 18 months, I think.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it should not have been possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broke something?
No,
Oh.
just had to figure out how to get him down.
That's what I was going to say.
What are you doing up there?
All my friends have a story like that or a tree, and they all broke an arm. I've never did that. I climbed. I was a maniac. I don't know if I'm like Wolverine and dense or like I never broke a shit.
Yeah,
And I was reckless.
my wife has a story about also my son climbing into the tree in the backyard. She told our older son, "Watch your brother. I'm gonna go take a quick shower."
Sure.
And she's in the shower, and Jake, our other son, comes running in saying, "Come right away, Sam's in the tree."
He watched him.
He's like way up in the tree. So yeah,
I don't know where we
but
started.
no,
with
but no
Gravitron.
graviton.
Oh, the
Tron.
Earth spinning.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
fast.
Earth spinning. Yes.
So I imagine that would happen to my body with the Earth spinning too fast.
Yeah, I don't know.
Put a
Well, I mean-
turbocharger on this axis of this thing, and
Okay, so our gravity comes from the spin.
right.
So if the spin spins up, we won't float up, we'll go down. 'Cause gravity will
We
increase.
don't get gravity from the spin. We get it from the mass of the Earth.
Oh.
We'd go flying if the Earth stopped spinning, but we're not getting it from the spin. Centrifugal force goes outwards because it's an active inertia.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That
all
if
right,
our
you
inertia
could be right.
becomes-
You could be right then. You
That
could
if
be
our
right.
inertia becomes greater than the force of the center of the Earth, I'm flying.
We just go flying.
Yeah, I'm gonna go flying.
Stop having mass.
We might start flying.
I don't
Sell.
think-
This
I don't
is
think-
not financial advice, but sell your airline stock. The Earth is spinning so fast, we're gonna fly.
You're gonna be able to fly on your own,
Happens.
like Superman. You know, my favorite kind of superhero flying is the standing up flying, like Magneto does. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's
That's
my
good.
favorite. That seems the most logical too, right?
There's a couple
I mean,
guys that kind of do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Storm does that too.
Yeah. I don't know if it's logical. I think.
You can just address it so much better. You can just like do this thing with your arms. and
Yeah.
just, you know.
I guess the other one has its logic based on birds, which we're not because
Yeah.
our spines are different. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's why that kind of makes sense. And then, I guess your arms out, they do that to mimic a bird, which planes
Yeah.
and everything's based on. But the people that fly, Superman, doesn't use his arms to fly.
No, he's kind of streamlining with
Right.
his arms. Yeah. And I think originally Superman was just jumping.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Big old
like
jump.
Spider-Man
Yeah, big jump.
style jumps. Yeah.
Yeah. Iron Man looks cool flying. But I agree, like a Storm or the Silver Surfer's kind of his own
Oh yeah.
world. But he's kind of vertical.
Yeah.
But he's got a surfboard.
Yeah.
Which is just a whole nother topic for another day. Because I don't know what year surfboards were invented, but this dude's from another dimension. He's got a surfboard?
I don't think you're supposed to think about that one too much.
You know what I mean?
could be wrong, but I don't think that
That's
you're
like a
supposed
superhero from some other dimension, and he comes with like a basketball. Like, that's man-made random invention. How is that part of your piece?
to. Yeah. No, I feel you on that point.
But-
That it doesn't make a lot of sense. But at the same time, maybe when he came to Earth, he chose a metaphor that people would understand as opposed to just floating through the air. I don't know.
So
I don't understand enough about the Silver Surfer to be able to really comment.
I've never read comic books, so I always feel like I'm kind of fake, Like
Yeah.
I'm a fake fan. Speaking of this stuff, I just have to do it.
Okay.
It's not even a segue. I just opened my phone to go to the questions.
Uh-huh.
We're doing a Q&A. Welcome to the end of February. Jim's going to lay out the schedule that we now have for the podcast this week. It's Q&A. The new Spider-Man movie is now confirmed
Yes.
for the title,
Title, yeah.
December 17, 2021, which is a year.
No, it's this year.
You're right, but basically a year.
Yeah, well, it's...
8 months. 8
8
months.
months.
10 months, whatever math.
Yeah.
I need to go to the movie theater. I was so desperate Saturday. I was Googling how far out movie theaters are open just because I wanted to go buy some popcorn.
Oh, Tower sells it right over here.
Oh, see, I didn't know
Dude,
that. And
yeah.
it didn't pop up. Maybe because they're not showing movies.
Yeah.
Because
No.
I just looked on Fandango. I was like, well, if they're open, it would say something, but nothing
Yeah.
said anything. I'm going to do that this weekend. All
Yeah.
right, Jimbo, let them know. We got our new schedule.
Sorry, there was a noise in the background.
Here's an explanation. A new schedule of podcasts.
Yes.
This isn't drawn in cement, and this may not be a 10-year plan, but this is a couple month plan
Yes.
that we're sticking to, and hopefully you guys vibe with it. It's going to be us. It's going to be what we've always been, who we've always been, but we're just going to have slight structure to each episode that varies.
Yeah. Okay, so the first Wednesday of the month, the episode will be about either a mental or physical health thing. So training can be part of that
Yeah.
as well.
Maybe a hot topic,
Right.
maybe a guest,
Yes.
maybe we just covered what the powerlifting thing is.
Right.
Best, that kind of sits in there, right? Like, how do we want to powerlift? Because that's a physical-ish thing.
Right. Second week will be a media review, similar to what we did last month or this month with Fake Famous. This coming up month, it will be Pumping Iron.
Chances are it's going to be a movie because I'm probably not going to read anything, or Jim's going to be talking by himself.
Oh, we're not gonna. I mean, unless it's no. It's got to be like
Article.
It's
movie.
a visual media thing. It's
Yeah,
got to be, or maybe a podcast, but probably not.
Podcast
maybe
would be bad. Podcast would be bad, but yeah, documentary. There's always health ones we can rip apart.
Right.
So something like that.
All right. Third week will be either business or financial. So like general business, fitness business, or a financial thing. I'd like to have somebody come talk to us about crypto and because like, why didn't I back in the day? The first time I had a Shopify store, you could actually receive payments in crypto, and I did it, and you can't do that anymore. And I really wish that you could.
I'm sure you can soon.
Yeah, you can. There's a way to do it through Apple Pay, I think. But yeah, I'm like, why didn't I buy it then? 3, 4, 5 years ago. Why didn't I just buy a bunch of it then? When it was, because I'm not sure I'd be doing this.
Yeah, who knows?
Or
with the financial stuff, we might talk our business.
Yeah.
We might talk questions we see along the day. We get stuff from people. We might have another gym owner friend, and they could talk about their business or strategies. We kind of did a series like that earlier in COVID, where we attacked some of that with other gym friends, but we can share our experiences, and then, hopefully get some experts to teach us money, life-related things.
And the fourth will be a wrap-up Q&A. Or just a general Q&A, depending if people have questions about things we've talked about during the month, or reactions. Like, we may cover reactions that we see in our social media or on YouTube or whatever, and people make comments.
Yeah, today's Q&A will be quite random. I threw it on my Instagram. I've been doing them 3 times a week, and today I said, hey, we're going to plug these out on the podcast themselves. And I already answered this one on my story, but I figured this is right up your alley as well.
Okay.
It's a very simple. I didn't even know this was a thing. FMK. Do you know what that is?
No.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know FMK.
I
had to
didn't know
Google it.
FMK.
Yeah, I had to Google it.
Yeah.
But the FMK.
Yeah.
And it's not quite phrased well. I don't want to rip who's asking the question. You know,
Okay.
I just don't think it's an even category. Normally you do even categories, right? You'd be like Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, George Clooney. They're all kind of the same level-ish of actor. I feel like this is not quite there, but it's almost there. So brewed coffee, cold brew, and an espresso. Fuck, marry, kill. You see what I mean? Where they're there, but they're not there?
Fuck cold brew. Yeah. Back up.
Whoa.
Kill cold brew. Kill cold brew.
Okay.
Marry espresso. Fuck drip coffee.
Jim, you and I get along very well, and I never want to judge you, but I'm feeling like I'm judging you right now. You're fucking the lowest tier. You just fucked the gross one.
Yeah, well, yeah, don't you? I mean,
I don't.
Well, I like
You don't like cold brew. You don't love cold brew.
I don't
That's
love
fair.
cold brew.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't love cold. It can be fine.
Yeah.
It can be fine. I just don't love it. You got to do it just right, and
Yeah.
I think you don't have to do it at home. I don't know. I've never routinely had. Okay, so I'm gonna make an exception to this rule.
Yeah.
However, a nitro cold brew
Yeah.
is a different experience.
There are some really good ones. LA, for some reason, we have really good coffee here in Sac, but maybe because of the weather, maybe because of the creators, the cold brew culture isn't the same.
Yeah.
LA, for some reason, maybe this was years ago. I was traveling there once a month for like 5 years. I feel like every place had a homemade nitro cold brew. Like that was their shit.
Mhm.
Ours is like more fancy cappuccinos and this and that. We have cold brew at our spots, but a lot of that's just like an Americano or a brew on ice.
Yeah.
So that's why I think this isn't the best fuck, marry, kill, because I fucked cold brew because I only really like it in the summer sometimes. I killed regular brew, and I mostly just spent a rant talking shit on Keurig because that's gross.
Yeah, that's super gross.
But my idea is like espresso can be all these. You put
Yeah.
water in it, and now you got a coffee. It's called
Yeah.
an Americano.
Yeah, most of the time, and what I order is an Americano.
Right. And
Yeah.
you don't go to a good coffee spot and get brewed coffee.
Typically,
It's
no.
not a thing.
Yeah.
You get an Americano.
Yeah.
Some of them don't even have it. And if you order brewed coffee, they'll just make you an Americano because
Yeah.
you won't know.
Yeah, you pretty much have to like a dark roast. If you don't like
Yeah.
a dark roast, then
And then that's where my rant went. I said, fuck
Yeah.
your Keurig. And everyone's like, well, it's so convenient and I don't drink a whole pot. And I was like, that's not it.
yeah, I don't drink a whole pot either. I have a French roast thermal mug,
Or a pour-
French
yeah.
French press thermal mug.
So I
It's
said,
easy.
do you get a pour over or
Yeah.
get a French press?
Yeah,
You can make a single, you can double, you can buy them in 5s.
yeah,
And all of them taste better. And all of them take literally the exact same amount of effort as a Keurig.
no, I agree.
I have an electric thing. I stole it from my mom. Kettle.
Oh, yeah. See, I have a hot tap.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
easy. Then.
installed
That's
the hot-
game over
yeah, it's
then.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to go.
Dan, the latest roommate, he's already looking on how to install a Diet Coke fountain in my sink. Like the bar hose.
Really?
$1,500. It's not that much. It's not that much. I mean, if you probably did the math on what the syrup and CO2 costs versus the Coke we buy
Maybe.
for 3 big boys,
Maybe.
it probably paid itself
But
off.
my fear is though, it's a fountain. I'm like, how do you ever stop drinking it from a fountain? Like if I go to some place that has free refills and a fountain drink, I'm having 4 16-ounce Diet Cokes.
Oh, yeah, it's over.
If not more.
I don't know if it's as much of a thing, but it was definitely a thing growing up, and it's a thing here and then now with like a collector cup from a movie or a collector cup from like back in the day, like McDonald's and
Yeah.
Burger King went hard on movies.
Right.
Like I remember as a kid pulling through like what's the corny Batman everyone hates, but I love it.
The
like-
one from the 60s.
No, it's like no,
66?
90s,
No.
90s, like with Arnold and shit.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, like that. Like I remember that being plastered everywhere, and every cup you got was that, like shit like that. I would have those. I do have those cups, not those in particular, but like Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah, I would just fill it up all day.
Yeah.
Just all day.
Because they're big.
Huge.
Yeah. They're
And my
enormous.
house is tall. It's really tall and skinny, and so like I live on the 3rd floor. So like I just go down there once. I never have to go back down.
I'd have to go right back down, and I had to hit the bathroom on the way down, and probably on the way back up.
So
too.
I have a bathroom on the way down and up. Like there's one in between the fridge and my desk.
Yeah, no, I would never stop.
The more
peeing,
I think
but
about it, I told Dan he was stupid, but now that I'm arguing for him, it does make sense. Because the syrup can't be more expensive.
I have no idea, but I will tell you this: that straight regular Coca-Cola, the fountain version
Yeah.
that they sell to McDonald's is different and it's better. Is
This fact or is this?
No, this is fact.
Oh.
At least I believe this to be.
Okay.
fact.
Okay. This is.
I read an article in which they
All right.
said this was fact.
Then
So
that's more than just.
it's
opinion.
just a little bit better recipe. Just
Interesting.
a little bit.
There
better.
are some bars or restaurants you go to, and it hits different.
Yeah. Well,
Like
some of them just don't taste like what they're supposed to be at all, which leads me to believe that they're not at all what they're supposed to
That
be.
too, and I don't know if there's a
Diet Right cola or something.
yeah. Some of that does taste bad actually, but sometimes I don't know if there's a syrup gauge where you like choose how much
Yeah.
per water, but some of them like are so good,
Yeah.
like way better than a can.
Yeah, absolutely. That
Yeah.
and McDonald's is typically that.
Yeah,
That-
I haven't been to McDonald's. So
I
long.
remember as a kid, like that was the first place I probably ever had
Yeah.
had a Coke, because we were a Pepsi house. My mom was a Pepsi
Oh, really?
person.
My
Yeah,
dad
yeah.
was opposite of that, and I'm not either. Like I'm so impartial.
Oh, really?
He's so
I'm-
impartial.
I'm very much a Coke guy.
My dad's so much of a Coke guy. People know him as a Coke guy.
Really?
Like my friends' parents know him as a Coke guy.
my mom, because she didn't really grow up in the South, but she grew up with the South, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, Southern.
Yeah.
Shit, Southern from Central California.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so peanuts and Pepsi, you just drop. You never.
Nope, lost me.
Okay. So remember the tall glass bottles that,
Yeah.
that soda used to come in?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pop the top off of that. You take a little bit of a swig, so you get a little space.
Yeah.
You get yourself one of those small Planters peanuts packages. Open that puppy up, and you just pour the peanuts in there.
And then what?
Then you drink it.
And do you choke?
No.
Do they not come up?
They come. Oh yeah, they definitely come up.
You just chew it.
You just chew them. Yeah. It's like bubble tea, but with nuts.
That's so interesting. I've never heard that in my life.
Really?
I have no Southern attachment.
Okay. Well, I'm certain that
Someone
people
will.
Yeah.
If you know that, tweet one of us.
Yeah.
I've never
comment.
heard that in my life.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
do
yeah.
it. I'll do it.
It's-
Dare me.
Yeah. No,
I'll
it's
fucking do it.
it's a thing in the South for sure.
What's the point? The texture? Do you get some salt from it?
Yeah.
All
It
of
throws some salt into it, so it
Yeah.
kind of brings the flavor up a little bit.
Yeah, because that's why soda the fountain would be dangerous. Because I'm getting family-sized Cheez-Its and then my soda fountain straight to the mouth. I'm not even doing a. I'm sitting because my
You're taking the Diet Coke fountain to the dome.
yeah,
You
my
just-
kitchen's set up with like a bar. You know, it's got like an island, and so it's not really a bar. It's a place to eat, but I could
Yeah.
sit on that stool, fountain, and do the whole. Because
Yeah.
I could do both of those forever. If you go back and forth
Yeah.
from like a salty to a diet soda,
Yeah.
you literally could go forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like that's why popcorn.
The best. Nothing's better than a big boy. And then sometimes you throw a curveball with like a Reese's Pieces. You go biggest popcorn you can find, biggest soda. Hopefully it's themed with some Star Wars shit because that means I'm at my favorite movie. And then you just get a little Reese's Pieces at once an hour, and you just go on a 3-man rotation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
That sounds good. Well,
Fuck, I missed 2019.
I was telling you yesterday that there's a new like sports bar that's going to
Yeah.
open like right by our arena in downtown Commons, and just the thought that there'll be a place like that to go when all this is over.
Yeah.
Even if I would never normally go to there,
Yeah, it
go
sounds
someplace
fun.
like that, it sounds like fun because everything sounds like fun that's
Yeah.
not in your house.
It
now.
does kind of.
Yeah.
It does kind of. Yeah, just to be around some folks.
Yeah.
We'll see. That was our fuck, marry, kill. And now we're moving on. That's all I had.
I'm going to throw this out.
Go ahead. Lead me.
I've mentioned on this program before that my post-production partner and I, David Margetti, do Lane's podcast. And tomorrow's episode of Lane's podcast, The Beauty and the Geek, with Lane and his wife, excuse me, the guest is Ethan Supley, who was in My Name is Earl. He was in Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
He was
Boy
he was
Meets
in,
World.
Yeah. He was in a bunch of stuff. Used to weigh way over 500 pounds. Doesn't anymore.
That's so big.
It's, yeah.
I don't even know if I met a 500 pounder. I've met some huge humans too.
Well, did you ever meet Big Roy? I think he was over 5.
I don't think I met him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he was already gone by the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Big Show. I think I shook the Big Show's hand,
Yeah.
and people say he's around 500, but he might not be.
I don't know. I mean, you met plenty of 400.
Oh, the
plus.
400's kind of normal, yeah. But 500,
Yeah.
that's a big human.
Yeah, that's a big person.
Because you think of like Brian Shaw, and who knows? Because some of those guys are like pro athletes. They don't like give their real stats out.
Right.
But people said they were around 420, 440,
Mm,
and he's 6'8", and that's the biggest human I ever met.
yeah.
Like that's 500 pounds.
500 and plus pounds. Yeah.
it's insane.
Very, very big guy. Anyway, though, this doesn't really concentrate very much on his celebrity. It's more about like his journey of like how he got fucked up about food
Yeah.
from an early age.
Because I
And-
think he was a child actor. Like Boy Meets World, it's hard to tell because he's so big. But like
Yeah.
that show is about like some 6th graders when it first started. That
Yeah.
show went like a decade, you know. So like he was probably also like in junior high,
Yeah.
and he was huge. He was a big kid.
Anyway, food, drugs, all kind of addictions. How he keeps a thumb on it now. How he thinks about what he really goes through the progression. People who are successful at losing a lot of weight, keeping it off, go through a very similar progression.
Yeah.
The problem is you just have to go through it on your own. You have to figure these things out yourself along the way and kind of own those realizations. So anyway, I highly recommend listening to that episode, which will come out tomorrow, Thursday.
That's kind of like a interesting topic just in general. Maybe we can get some businessy folks to talk about it, or even lifting. Like, I can give you all the information, and we have, right? 10 years, you and I have put out tons of information on lifting.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still, and you could absorb it all either. Like, you could learn it, you could be smart enough, you could absorb it all. But, like, there's certain things in the gym that you'll probably just kind of do, and the only way to get better, like, to fix, even like a simple one, like the sensation of a flat back. We all know we should kind of deadlift with a flat back,
Mm-hmm.
right? To what extreme, you can make whatever argument you want. Some people think you're going to snap your shit up. I don't. I don't think it's as big of a deal as people make, but it will make you more efficient in the lift. And you could watch every YouTube video Alan Thrall, Maurice Huff, and Eric Helms have ever done. Everyone's going to say, yeah, try to get your back kind of flat. And you could be super aware of all that.
Mm.
It might take you just 4 years of deadlifting every week to learn how to actually get your back flat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just because you know what you're doing. And same thing with even nutrition. Like, even me, I struggle with food, and I know the smartest people in sports nutrition on the planet, and I've been friends with them for years, and I can coach someone perfectly in it. But till you find, like, the habit, what works for you,
Yeah.
kind of the small psychological things, you'll just never know. And so, like, business, same thing. Maybe you have a really good mentor. Maybe you've had successful businesses, but each, like, business itself that you have started, even if they're very similar, let alone if it's a new realm for you, they have hiccups you're going to have to go across regardless.
Yeah.
You could have the best coach, the best situation, the best business plan, the best logo, the best marketing team, the best all this, but eventually there's going to be hiccups that you're going to, and it sounds corny because it's like, you got to fail 100 times before you succeed, and like, kind of, that's not really what I'm saying, but it is all like constant adjustments, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's the diet life. I'd imagine, luckily enough, I've never really been addicted to anything besides the game. That, I imagine that's kind of that too. Like, it's not so much failure, but it's like, well, that one didn't work and I relapsed a little bit. Like, how do I adjust? How do I adjust? How do I adjust? How do I adjust now for never touching them, right?
Right.
Same with food, same with business, same with lifting.
Yeah.
Lifting's a constant mini adjustment. Maybe I'll have to listen to that podcast. I never listen to podcasts, but
That was it's totally
sounds
worth
good.
a listen.
Yeah,
Totally
sounds
worth
good.
a listen. While you're queuing up the next question, I just want to, I wouldn't work with Lane if I didn't love Lane. He's awesome. Not everybody loves him, but I do. Today I woke up to this, him having quote tweeted a post by someone who I don't recognize or know. That said, one of the best kept secrets in the medical industry is the fact that your diet should be based off of your blood type.
And they're serious or not?
And he
Trolling?
retweeted. He retweeted and said, "If you liked or retweeted this, God have mercy on your soul." Yeah. Well, here's the thing: if you're tweeting about it, if it's on Twitter, it's not a secret,
Sure.
and not every secret is something that's true.
Yeah.
So it falls apart on the semantics before you even get into the science. So sorry. Go on. Question.
So this is broad, and it goes again because the goal of these Q&As are obviously to help inform you guys, entertain you guys, but it's probably also to recap what's been going on. And I don't know, we kind of did it on Omar and Eric's podcast itself, where they talked about us and our business journey.
Yeah.
But someone asked, how is the gym going and how is business?
That's a really good question. When we talked about the fact that it's the 24th and this is a short month, what I was thinking was I need to queue up the rent payment. That's
There we go.
that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's going okay considering where we are in the world. Like, the fact that we've stayed open has been good. Obviously, we've stayed open, and we talked about this before about kind of the fact that this place is configured so that we can actually make it open air by opening everything up.
Yeah. And that we're new. We don't have 5,000 members.
Right. Yeah.
So we can kind of control flow. And flow, actually, we don't control flow. Flow naturally controls itself.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to do appointments.
Right.
The most we've ever had was maybe last night, and Jim said maybe 15 to 20 at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So we're lucky in some of those instances. It's
Right.
a pain, but it's luck.
Right. And we don't have as many members as we'd like to have at this point in the game, but at the same time, it is actually more than a lot of people have when they're just starting up.
For sure.
We just have a large facility. That's the that's
and large expectations.
and large huge expectations. The apparel business has gone well so far. Like launching two businesses at the same time, I don't know. Like it's like having twins.
Yeah, I definitely probably wouldn't suggest it. I think both of them, and I've been involved with both. Again, like going back to what I was even saying about micro adjustments. Like I've helped physical clothing companies. I've helped physical equipment companies. I've done all these things. But even within that, the style of clothing we're trying to do or the quality of clothing we're trying to do, how we're trying to do it, there's been adjustments along the way, whether it be margins or manufacturers or designs, or obviously designs change and ideas brought about. Little things, shipping, how to ship, what do we do, what bag, what this and that. So there's always been micro adjustments there. And I don't think that'll ever end because we always want to like optimize. You always want to turn up. You always want to be better. And that's kind of also our fault, but a good thing. Our fault meaning that we want to just not sell. We don't want to just sell shirts.
Right.
We want to sell like the most quality clothing, apparel for the gym and for life that we can. So that's also why we small batch, so we can upgrade, and get better and better. And that was also, again, going to the square footage. Don't have the amount of members we want because this building means a lot to us. The building's large. It's got a lot of history. Jim and I easily could have opened up a 800 square foot gym and probably been profitable-ish right now.
Pretty much right out the
Yeah,
gate.
but because of the history of powerlifting, because of the history of this building, because of our history, and the energy and money we put into the building itself, things are going very, very well, but it's a bigger project. Opening your first gym, I did in 2010. Maybe you're going to win your Pee Wee football playoffs. Jim and I are trying to beat Tom Brady and go to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is. And that's not like an arrogant thing or saying we're the best or we're in the NFL. That's just saying like the expectation we have, and we kind of dumped right into a large-scale deal. Even our boy Alan Thrall. Alan's gym is sick right now, thriving, huge, everything you could ever want. But he started in like a 300 square foot. It looked like an outhouse.
Yeah.
Like 6 years ago. Like the smallest, jankiest gym ever. And then he upgraded, which is the normal path. Which we did not do.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that.
And same with clothes. You start with a shit shirt. You print your logo on a shit black shirt with just your logo, and you sell it and you sell it and you sell it. But we just opened within a full apparel line.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Again, not necessarily something I would recommend, but
no, probably not.
But
yeah, probably not.
But I mean, I feel like we're set up to be able to handle storming waters. But
and I wouldn't recommend it for you. But like if you came to me as like a business coach, I would probably recommend you put the thought that we did into it, but not necessarily the same actions. And I would not. I don't want to do it another way.
Yeah,
I want to do it this way.
Yeah,
and I go broke. I wanted this. This is what I wanted, and this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, if you come to me and hire me as a business coach, I'm going to tell you how to make the most amount of money.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the route we went for right now.
Yeah. We had a reach out from a local sort of design printing company yesterday. And how I want to say this exactly correctly without sounding
that they suck.
Conceited about it. No, well, no. Like, here's the thing. Like, if you're gonna pitch to someone, understand what their business is before you do it.
Yeah, or their name. I put my name on Instagram as Mugatu because that's a play on Zoolander.
Right, right.
Will Ferrell plays an obnoxious designer.
Yeah.
And I started designing clothes a year ago.
Yeah.
So I switched my name to Mugatu. For the, like Travis Scott, he calls himself Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack was a wrestler. That's Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a persona joke meme.
Yeah.
And so I memed myself and called it Mugatu. Two things. One, I'm surprised how many people like my-ish age ask me who Mugatu is. I'm like, dude, go fucking watch Zoolander. Two, I've been getting all these sponsorship proposals saying, hey, Mugatu, in the email, love your YouTube channel.
Oh,
I'm like,
Lord.
you didn't watch a single video I've
Lord.
done in a decade?
Yeah.
You can't even tell, or even my name, it's just the name. It's not the username.
Yeah.
Username's Silent Mike. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even like that much, but I get it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to research, you can find my name.
Yeah.
It's not like it's secret, but write me an email saying Silent Mike feels weird too to me.
Yeah.
Just say Mike.
Mike.
Yeah. Or find my real name.
Yeah.
But when you say fucking Mugatu, I just delete your email. I just delete your email.
Well, so anyway, though,
So it's that kind of deal, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing: like a lot of gyms, what they're doing is if they're making a T-shirt or whatever, it is a promotional item
Right.
that they, their members might or might not have to pay for, and it's its visibility around town,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Like that's the thing that we haven't done that I actually think we might actually need to back
Sure.
up into and do
Yeah.
a members exclusive kind of scenario on
But
that.
even right there, you have a different mindset. You're like, let's make something cool for our members exclusive.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
not make a white shirt that we shoot with a cannon around town.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But wait, can we get a T-shirt
I'd
cannon?
be down.
I gotta
Yeah.
go back to the budget and see if we can afford a T-shirt cannon.
gonna
That'd
look
be
it up.
fucking amazing. Anyway, though, so I reached back and said, hey, like we have relationships with designers and vendors and whatever, but thanks. But I turned it around and said, hey, so like, why don't you come visit the gym sometime? First workout's free.
Right.
Like if you're gonna
Right.
cold pitch me, then I'm probably gonna cold pitch you back.
Yeah. $440.
Oh, is that it?
And
Oh.
this one looks kidded. This one looks. That's not one from.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. This thing looks sick.
Looks dangerous. That's like a
That's pretty cool.
that's a King's game level one.
Yeah, that's cool. I wonder how far it shoots.
I don't know.
1,000 designed for over thousands of launches and years of service.
Good Lord.
125 psi, 12-ounce tank. It'll shoot at 150 feet.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty like so. Like, I don't even
That's
know.
a football field, right? Oh, that's 300 feet. That's 100 yards. Half a football field.
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty good.
Pretty far.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think that's further than we probably need. We have to,
Well,
can
you
you
know.
adjust it?
Yeah, it says 20 to 150. I don't know how you adjust. Yeah, I guess you just adjust the PSI, I'd assume. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. So
Maybe worth a... Actually, we have a launch that this might kind of fit in.
Okay.
That might be kind of cool for like a little commercial.
Yeah.
Someone's really getting after it in the
Yeah.
gym.
We can hear it through here.
here.
So yeah, back to the original question.
Yeah,
though.
how is the gym?
Yeah, so we're working on getting a legitimate access system as opposed to what we've been using, and like it's been a months long process, and every time I turn around, it's more complicated than it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like just being able to communicate how we need it to work.
That was the
was
hardest part.
really hard
That was the hardest part in the beginning. We've been looking into softwares for gyms
for damn near a year.
Yeah, for nearly a year, lightly looking into it, and some of them, all of them, didn't provide what we wanted, and then some of them didn't really even understand. And I don't think what we're asking for is that crazy.
No, it can't be that hard.
We're literally just looking for the same system to allow a key fob into the gym. For those that haven't heard, we have two memberships. We have like a regular open gym membership. You come in desk hours just like any other gym. But then we have an upgraded key fob membership where you get access to the gym holidays, weekends, nights. We want that same key fob that lets you in the door for the premium members to also check you and register you in, just like you'd beep into any commercial gym. And no one got that or gets that. I don't think it's that crazy of a request.
No,
track,
I don't think
to track
so.
that. Because
I
even
don't
at work, right? Like, think of if you're at an office. I don't know. I've never really worked corporate world, and you haven't in like this weird digital era.
Yeah.
But you would think that they would want that too, maybe. Where you check it. Like my dad had a key card. It looked like a credit card or a license. It looked like a license, and he had it on his tag. And when he worked for AT&T corporate, and he would slide it to unlock the door. I imagine that checked him in somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's tracked. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so normal.
A lot, and a lot of places use a something similar for time card and that kind
Right.
of stuff.
Yeah. So I assume it was part of his time card deal. How do we just want that same thing?
Yeah. It's been incredibly challenging. The original bid on this was $11,000. I
Yeah.
was like, fuck that. And so we ended up getting a self-install kit with a little bit different hardware for considerably cheaper, probably, closer to $2,000.
Yeah, which is still
And-
just so crazy to me.
And it's like it's mounted on the wall right now, and it will work in test mode, but it won't work because the cloud connection between our software that we bought the only software that did everything that we
Ish,
wanted
yeah.
to do that wasn't an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
Because the moment you say you're a small business, everyone has their hands out. I've said this before.
Yeah, I didn't know. That was the thing. I was talking to one of our gym members. A lot of our gym members are like business owners.
Yeah.
I was talking to Anthony, and he owns like 2 businesses locally, I believe. And I forgot what we were talking about. Maybe just the internet.
Yeah.
And he was talking about his business, and he's like, "Yeah, I had a landline, and my wife runs the books." And I said, "Honey, do we need this landline?" She's like, "It's $100." He said, "We don't need a landline." And I was like, "Why is that? Like a landline at home is probably like $5.
I don't know what it is.
It's
but
literally like
yeah.
nothing. Or
Yeah.
like just everything you buy, they throw it in free.
Yeah,
and they kind of threw it in free-ish with our fiber,
Yeah.
but still, like, our fiber's 4 times what I pay for my 1,000 up, 1,000 down internet.
And
at
it's
home.
not 1,000 up, 1,000 down.
It's good.
It's 1,000 down, 250 up.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we can't get like on my. I could really go on around here about Comcast bit for business. You're so screwed. There's
Everybody's screwed,
somebody's
too.
using the office that I used to
Oh.
be in, the office studio that I had before.
Yeah.
And my internet is still there, and they're probably fucking using it, and there's nothing I can do about it
Yeah, it's
until
weird.
it expires. Anyway, so we tried to run the cable out to the doors from the box a couple of days ago, and it's a cinder block wall,
Yeah.
and I got one hole to put it through, and the hole is big enough on this side, but it's not big enough on the other side, and like we have to figure it out. We have to drill a hole somewhere, or
Is
take
it
that
just not
apart.
big enough, or do we got to do like my little? What did I use? Did I use a coat hanger
Coat hanger won't work because there's not enough space.
on the other side?
Yeah,
What if you coat hanger push instead of coat hanger pull?
maybe, but I don't think so.
It was even kind of hard to get it through.
Yeah,
This way. The
yeah.
other way.
So anyway, it's
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, there's obstacles.
They're constantly every day is a winding road, and I Cheryl Crow was right, and
God damn it, Cheryl.
and in business it's so true. Like
Yeah.
we walk in here today, and I turn on the streaming computer, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Literally doesn't work.
Just
And
overnight.
How long we've been streaming live for a good year,
Yeah.
maybe more, and we've been doing a podcast for
And it hates us.
since 2013, and there's always a technology issue. It's like
That's
yeah.
true.
So here's the thing. Like if you're thinking about starting a business, realize that every day there will be frustration. Every single day. And all of your battles will be hard won, but they'll be delicious. So when you succeed.
That's what I don't get the deliciousness, sadly. My little heart doesn't work that way. I wish it did.
We got another question?
I mean, we have 1 million, you know?
We got another good question.
Yeah, well, I don't want to judge these people, but
There's a few on the live stream if you want to check those.
I wonder if it'll show it if I just hop on. You know what I mean?
I really need to mute that so that we don't. How old is Mike?
I'm 32 years old, young. Do people only say that when they are old? Right?
I never say it, and you will never catch me saying it.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You only say that when you're old. I'm
Yeah.
going to say it from now on.
Yeah.
I'm 32 years young, bitch. Almost 33. What are you guys getting me for my birthday, podcast fam?
What other questions are up there? I don't see them. I only see that one.
Okay, we also have tips on finding time to train as a parent of small kids, how to combine in a way that makes sense, especially alongside a 9-to-5 work week, etc.
All right, so we got parents in chat trying to find time to hit the gym. They got a 9-to-5 job, potentially, obviously busy with little ones running around. They probably got wife. They might have hobbies. They might have family events, et cetera, et cetera. How do you get into in the gym? Now, I have no kids.
Mm-hmm.
No kids.
I have a little bit of an answer, but go on.
But I do have a lot of observations. I'm very observational. I'm going to start saying I'm judgmental because I am judgmental, but I'm going to start to say I'm very observational.
Okay.
And I'm very observational. And our entire morning crew here rolls through at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just about 5 dads. They're all probably around my age-ish.
Mm.
They all have little ones, I assume. They haven't told me their kids' age. I know they all have kids. And I've talked to them a bunch about it. And they're like, yeah, like little dude's sleeping, whether he's 5 or something. A couple of them are preschoolers and stuff. And so you get in at 6. You sacrifice, an hour or half an hour of your sleep. You get in the gym. You get half an hour of workout. You go home just in time for breakfast with the fam. Head to work. My dad didn't work out necessarily, and I think it's what routine. Again, you'll give real good dad advice after this because I'm not a dad, but I think it's what routine you build expectations for everything in life, right? Whether you're a coworker, a boss, a player, it doesn't matter. You set your own expectations by routine. And so growing up, my dad always just worked overtime. And so I never really saw him in the mornings. He left at like 6 or 7.
Yeah, that was my dad too.
Yeah, so he'd like, sometimes he'd kiss me on the forehead and leave, but I didn't see him in the mornings. But I knew he was going to come home at work at 6 every night, and we always had dinner together. So that's the expectation. We have family dinner. We don't have mornings together. And some families may have other routines, and maybe they do breakfast and not dinner because dad has a different job or mom has a different job or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but I think as soon as you set that routine for yourself, you can set that routine for your family, and you choose what balance of hours you can give to what. But I would make a hard argument. Again, I'm not a dad, so take it what you want. But I would make a very hard argument that you will be a better spouse, partner, father if you get gym time in for a billion reasons that I couldn't even begin to explain. We don't have enough hours in the day.
I think that figuring out how to take, if you count that as your me time, you will benefit by regularly scheduling it and taking it. My neighbor across the street is an attorney. His wife is an attorney. They have 3 kids now, one of which is a baby, like few-month-old baby.
Yeah.
I think she stayed home the first 2 months, and now he's staying home. Maybe the first 4 months. I don't know. I think she's a little one.
Yeah.
She's a little tiny one. And I see him working out in his garage sometimes during the day because he's staying home with the baby right now. She did that before, and baby is in the stroller.
They're chilling.
Yeah, in the garage watching, and
Yeah.
he's out there getting bitten by mosquitoes, and he's got a rogue rack in his garage, and he's got some bumper plates, and he benches and whatever. He's a guy that with a fitness mindset, somebody who's been after it for a while, and like came in here, loves his gym. Is like, I don't have time. I'm not going to have time for a while.
Because then you got the drive, you got the prep. Yeah, for sure.
And so I think that part of it is working out the time in your week to make it happen, committing to a certain number of sessions whenever you can, make it happen. And the other one was to realize you're playing a long game, and it's not always going to be this big of a problem.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing you said is just set the routine. And that's like anyone. Obviously, it's a little bit easier if you're in college and all you have to do is kind of study.
Yeah.
You could set, all right, I train at 5 every day. A little bit easier. Now you're a parent, you got a job, you got a spouse, you got taxes, you got a kid, you got all these things to do. But the simple answer is put it in your schedule and keep it the same. It's that. I mean, even me, like my business schedule, in my life schedule, my sleep schedule is insane right now. I don't know how insane it is until a question I answered on my own Q&A earlier. Someone said, "What's your day look like?" And I went hour by hour, and there's no hour like I breathed. There's like no hour there. You know what I mean? Because I literally whatever. We'll go to my Instagram if you really want to see it, even though you guys will be too late. But my days are nuts, and even me, I schedule it in. Every day, 12 to 12:30ish, I'm going to get an hour of training in. And that's that. That's just that. And technically, I'm on the clock. I still run to the front desk. Luckily, Jim and Kyle are here to help me. But technically, I'm working.
Yeah.
But I scheduled that in because that's the only freaking time there's a chance.
Yeah.
And so if you're a dad, find that hour. If you're a mom, find that hour. If you're a busy person, find that hour and just put it in. All right, every day I'm going to do this. I'm going to take my lunch break a little bit sooner, or I'm going to wake up a little bit earlier, or I'm going to leave work 15 minutes early, or I'm going to sacrifice a hair here so that I do a little more there. And again, the long game, you're going to be better off.
Yeah, I think I think it just and know that sometimes you need a break from things. Actually, that's going back to the Lane podcast with Ethan Supley. One of the things he said that made the biggest difference to him was knowing when you needed to take a diet break.
Yeah, to stop stressing.
Yeah, right. And I think that can be true like, okay, so I don't have time to lift right now, but I can walk around the block.
Sure.
I can do some other activity that makes me feel my physical self, my athletic self, whatever,
and take care of yourself.
and take care of yourself, and give your mind a chance to discharge.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much
That could be a whole topic itself. We were talking about we've done it in the past, a little bit of the psychological area of diet, but that's something I want to dig into even more. And we were talking pre-podcast. We'll probably wrap it up here, but pre-podcast we were talking about the internet culture of shaming, fat shaming, diet shaming, nutrition culture, diet culture. Everyone's battling each other. I don't think there is a right answer because it's so individual, and the issue only becomes when you make your voice, when you have a big platform and you make your voice so drawn in the sand, then you're obviously affecting a large crowd, where if you have 50,000 followers, not all 50,000 need to lose weight and focus on diet. Right. Some people, like Jim just said, need a break, a mental break. Even me, people, and I'm fine because this is my job and I signed up for people being a bitch to me on the internet. That's literally part of my resume now. But people come to me like, well, what do you do for your diet? And I'm like, I'm not dieting. Like, let me just breathe. Like, I have 5 businesses I'm keeping afloat, and my goal right now is just to lift 5 days a week. That's the only goal I need right now, right? Like, well, when are you going to deadlift 750? Like, we'll get there. Right now, I'm doing, right? And so...
So back to long game. We're back to long game.
It's 100% long game. It's 100. As long as you got balls in your hands, you don't have to juggle them all at the same time.
Right.
You just kind of have to keep them close, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And if you can't work out, you're injured, you're busy, you don't have access to the gym, okay, maybe then you tweak your diet a little bit. Maybe you do the walk a little bit. Maybe your business is going awesome. Okay, let's focus in on family time. Let's focus in on the fitness. Oh, my business is crushing it. It's kind of cruise mode. I'm going to run a marathon for my brain and my hobby. Okay, cool. But you can't, not everything can be shifted into 6th gear at the same time.
Yeah.
And so maybe we'll find a good guest. We'll just ramble ourselves on the psychology of kind of all that. And that, again, that wraps into kind of the diet culture and people pushing diet or being anti-diet. But yeah, I think that's where we're at.
Question that just came in that we may actually just wrap on. Is about doing interviews. Here's the thing: when we get back to life looking a little bit more like the before times, I'm totally down to have whoever in here and do interviews. I don't want to ask them how they got into fitness because I never want to ask that question again. I asked that question a million times.
Yeah, I think but they're asking if we'll do interviews again. Yeah. See, I never thought of myself as like a journalist or interviewer. When Jim approached me and gave me a voice in the space, I always, and this is going to sound corny too because this is probably what everyone says, but like I'm like down to have conversations.
Yeah.
And when it's just me and Jim, the conversation's about me and the conversation's about Jim because we're here and we share our experiences. But when someone else is here, I would like to have conversations.
Yeah.
And people tell their story. I like stories. I don't really want to interview people either. And that's kind of why we're shifting around what our content looks like.
Yeah, I try to, let's put it this way. It's always going to be topic driven from this point forward. I don't need to do in-depth interviews on this show. If I feel the need to do in-depth interviews, I'm going to do it on my other show.
Yeah.
It's
just kind of different. And like the type of, there's some people I would sure love to kind of like pick at their brain. But the most I've learned about people or a topic is through conversation.
Yeah.
It's not through like a list of my questions. And that's, I guess, just what I think about when interviewing. That's maybe not what this question was technically about. They might just be meaning, are we having guests? I'm picking them apart.
They asked about our old show and they enjoyed our dynamic with guests, and I did too. Like a few weeks ago we had Eric and Omar on, and we went actually longer with them than I had actually expected to, and that was a good episode, and it felt very in the room, even though they're on totally opposite parts of the globe. But I think you can only do those kind of interviews if either the people already.
Yeah, it was easy.
That's thing one. Or you're really, really good at running them. And I think we're pretty good, but I think that to produce top-notch content from remote interviews is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I think for anyone.
Because the flow is hard.
I think we're decent at communicating and having conversations with people we don't know, and making them comfortable enough to talk to us. That's what this quote-unquote really good interviewer is, right? Larry King, the Howard Stern's. Like that's why people say they're so good at what they do is because they get people to talk normal. And I think we are good at that. But we can't do that when someone else is at their own house, nervous on their couch, Zoom calling us. If they come to the gym, we can lift. I can buy them lunch. We get them back here. They're going to be comfortable. We'll be able to chat it out. So, yes, and for sure we're going to have one in June. We mentioned the last podcast, I think World's Strongest Man's coming to Sacramento. Very exciting. And so we'll have minimum one, but probably multiple situations like that coming this summer, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's 100% part of our plan. And as of right now, we're going to drag those guests into the format that Jim talked about earlier in the podcast. So hopefully we can get a guest to watch the movie that we're about to do, and they can talk through it with us. Maybe the guest will line up, and maybe they're just as clueless as I am on every topic, and they'll talk about whatever the topic is that we're going to commentate on that day. Or maybe we'll have Omar in, and he'll do the Q&A with us. Whatever it might be, we're going to kind of fit our guest into our format. But I think it'll be good.
All right. Well, let's bring this one in for a landing because, honestly, I have to go home.
Yeah, I got to go work out. Ladies and gentlemen.
Edit this sucker and then come back and work until 10 o'clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's very few sizes left, but we do have a couple things. 3sb.co for all apparel, kind of elevated athletic apparel, tops, bottoms, big boy sizes, little people sizes. For sure, the middle ground depends on the color, but check it out. We do appreciate all the support. It's been going awesome. I'm Silent Mike on every platform. Follow us, Third Street Barbell with a 3 on Instagram. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
I am at DJ McD on all the social media. And this show is 50% facts, where percent is a word and 50 is just numbers. And we'll talk to you next week.